Well, happy Monday, and welcome here to another edition of Husker Online Headlines. Sean Callahan, Steve Sipple were brought to you by the presenting sponsor of Sartor Hamann Jewelers. Hopefully you got all your Valentine's Day stuff. Still time to maybe get a late gift, and we'll tell you more about Sartor Hamann here in the show. But
there's no time, Sean.
There's no time. It's over. Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah. Well, Valentine's Day was last week. Are you suggesting that people get a
It was Saturday. It was kind of a tricky one.
Was you suggesting that people should get a post Valentine's Day gift?
Like a kind of a
makeup
make good.
That's what you're doing.
With Valentine's Day on a Saturday, if you want to like send the flowers or things to somebody's work, you had to do that on Friday.
Yeah.
And I got that done.
Good job. Yeah, we went to that Thursday steakhouse thing. I got it done before. I was counseled to do it before. Don't wait till the weekend because it gets too crazy.
We've always gotten those heart-shaped pizzas from Valentino's literally for like 15 years.
Heart-shaped pizza. So what kind did you get?
Just like a regular cheese pizza and like a hammer, just like regular pizzas, but they shape them like hearts. So that's what we did Saturday night.
That sounds pretty good.
And we watched, introduced our girls to the movie Happy Gilmore.
I've never seen that. I've never seen it.
You think that like 90s movies are like always going to be, then you realize, oh boy, there's some things maybe third graders.
Oh, right.
Shouldn't be seeing.
Uh-huh. God, yeah. 100%. I had the grandkids watching the movie. It was a basketball movie with Woody Harrelson. Oh God. We had to stop it. I mean, it was 100% stop. It was stop.
Nope. Let's put it this way. There is a reference to the movie, and my youngest daughter referenced, oh, Dick's Sporting Goods. And we're like, yep, that's it. That's it. Dick's Sporting Goods.
Let's keep it at that.
He likes to go to Dick's. But
yeah.
Anyway,
Carly. That's Carly. That's Carly. How old is she?
She's a 9-year-old.
Yeah, she has a lot to learn. But anyway, here we go, Sean.
All right, well, let's set the show.
Come on, coach.
A lot
let's talk
to
ball.
Get to. We start spring ball this week. Basketball's in March Madness. Baseball, softball, ramping up. So this is honestly, as Troy Danner would probably say, one of the busiest times for the athletic calendar because it's when you get spring football with basketball, with baseball, softball.
And they're all, I mean, basketball's cooking, softball's cooking, baseball's cooking.
Well, then other sports like track and swimming and
the AD.
Wrestling. I mean, you're everything's moving right now.
The AD's not working 40-hour weeks. You know what I mean?
He's busy.
Yeah.
But let's get into number one with spring ball starting on Saturday. Biggest questions for Nebraska heading into the spring. And
okay,
I think you have to naturally start at quarterback and just what this offense is going to be with more than likely Anthony Calandria. The 31 games.
Is that your biggest question?
Well, what kind of changes could we see? Because I think what they did before was built around what Dylan Rhule did. Well, Calandria is not Rhule. They're different types of quarterbacks. Calandria has started 31 games, played in 33. He's put up major numbers, especially this past year. So how can you take his success and build that to success for Nebraska?
That's a question. That is a question. Now, the interesting thing about that question is you could also say that's the biggest reason for optimism is Anthony Calandria. So that's an interesting one that you picked. Because when we did this, when I thought biggest questions, I thought, okay, where are the trouble spots?
He's not a question for me. It's more the question of what do they make this look like with him?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What will it look like? I don't know. I mean, you're going to run him, right? You're going to run him. I don't know what that's going to look like. I mean, there's obvious run plays now that you have at your availability. I think of one is he's in the shotgun QB draw, which you see all the time. And it can be very effective when the defense is all spread out. It can be very predictable sometimes. That's on the shoulders of Dana Holgerson to make it right. But yeah, you got a point. Now, and along with that conversation, by the way, he's got to cut down turnovers, as our friend Michael Severe would.
He's hammered that.
Drive home. But it's true, though. I mean, he's been. It shows during the course of his career, he's been turnover prone. He knocked it down though at UNLV.
He's Mountain West Player of the Year.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he minimized it there. So we'll see what that looks like. But I'm telling you, right there, that guy right there, that's my biggest reason for optimism on the football team.
Now, running back is obviously a huge question because last year we felt like they rolled the dice by just going with Emmett Johnson, and it worked. But the data, the history, the numbers, the metrics show what Nebraska did last year, relying on just one guy to carry 90-some% of the load. That's not the norm in the Big Ten. And
no, it's not.
Do you have that now with Mekhi Nelson, Mosey, Jamal Rhule, Ives, Connor Booth? Do you have enough there? Can you figure out a running game? And to piggyback off Calandria, can his running game help out the running backs?
I mean, you do wonder that. I mean, all we're talking about is Nebraska's leading returning rusher ran for 147 yards last year. I mean,
that's Mosey.
Yeah, no, that's Mekhi. Mekhi ran 27 times for 147. That's your leading returning rusher. Isaiah Mosey ran 26 times for 115. He's your second. He's not even your second returning rusher. Ives had a big game against Houston Christian, which is why he has 20 carries for 133 yards. Phantom yards, because Houston Christian wasn't a representable defense. It just wasn't. I mean, I hate to say it, but it wasn't. So Mekhi Nelson and Mosey are your guys. Okay, so those you've came with a couple questions. My biggest question is up front. It remains up front on both sides of the ball. Why is it a question on offense? Because you're probably going to have new starters at left guard, and right tackle. That's a huge question to me. Now, what do they look like? You probably feel pretty good about it, especially Brendan Black, the transfer from Iowa State, who's probably earmarked at right guard, right? Definitely one of the guard spots. And then you have Paul Mubenga, the transfer from LSU, and Tree Babalide, the transfer from South Carolina. But what's that look like? How's it? I don't know if those guys will be the starters, by the way, but don't you, Sean, aren't you of the mind that when you bring those guys in from the portal, you're bringing them in to start?
Right. And I think we've seen enough to know what Nebraska has returning at tackle and what they have returning away from Elijah Pritchett, the other players that could play tackle. I don't think you could roll the dice and say, yeah, we're going to go against Indiana, Ohio State, and Oregon with those guys and be okay.
Nope, I agree.
So you've got to bring in people. And they went out and clearly spent money on Brendan Black at guard, at Paul Mubenga as a guard, and Tree Babalade as a tackle. And those are guys that have all been starters at the Power 4 level, several game starters,
all of them,
for a reason. So, I know a year ago I was big on Pritchett should be playing, and it got a little contentious with the amount of money he was getting, and you sense that Matt Rhule wanted him to be playing, but Donovan Raiola kind of being bullheaded on some top. I mean, he was a very stubborn guy at times.
Well, or you could say he was strict. He demanded strict adherence to how they're doing things, which is what you want.
But there was a camp all right, let him figure it out on the field. Don't pull him after one mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Let him figure it out.
I don't think he'd earned it. But that's a philosophical discussion that we don't need to. He's your left tackle. We don't need to get into. He's your left tackle. That's over. And as long as he shows up ready to roll, which I assume he will.
But I don't think this new guy, Jeep Wade, is going to be like that. I think he recognizes the talent. He's going to get the talent on the field.
I have no idea. I mean, it's possible he would be more strict for all we know. I don't know Jeep Wade from Jeep CJ5. That was a Jeep back in the day. But I don't. I regard it as a question, and I regard the defensive line as a question. Those are my two biggest questions.
Yeah, you wrote your spring intel defensive tackle piece over the weekend here, and when you start to look at that group, I mean, man, if they didn't get Stoudemire
and
Whittington,
just sheer Whittington, right,
where they would be in a world of trouble. Because right now,
I think you're right, Sean.
You'd have Riley Van Poppel and Gabe Moore as your starters, probably. Stoudemire and Whittington and Gabe Moore and Van Poppel are probably your top four. You've got some older players like Sua Lafatu and Mason Goldman. But I do think when you like zone in on this D-line interior group, it is prime for Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson to make a run this spring.
100%. In fact, I think you need them to. Unfortunately, what you're talking about is a need. I don't think you
need.
Yeah, you have to get those guys ready. And it's not like we're dogging on those returners, but you have a junior in Sua Lefatu. He had 3 tackles last year, Sean. I mean, that's it. You have a junior in Gabe Moore who had 7 tackles.
We've been doing this long enough to know, like, rarely does a guy just come out of nowhere that it hasn't at least flashed a little bit before.
Right.
And the guys that we're referring to, we haven't seen like big time flashes.
Right.
So it's hard to say, oh yeah, but I know Tyson Terry and Malcolm Simpson were highly regarded 4-star recruits that both redshirted, that both had injuries. Now they're healthier and developed, and let's turn them loose.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would think, especially Tyson Terry, I hate to put a snap count on, but you're going to have to get 15 to 20 snaps a game from him, I would think, in the way I look at this. And maybe, Sean, he's good enough that he becomes a starter.
Like, do you start him out like every 3rd series?
Yeah, something like that.
Like where he comes in every 3rd series. But again,
what have you heard, though? You know the Terry family. Is he ready to roll?
Yeah, he was almost ready for the bowl game. I mean, I think he was very close. So I think he'll be ready now at this point. I mean, he had the surgery a long time ago.
Right.
But, some of those take about a year. And you don't want to rush it. He wrestled. Think about this. He won a state championship on a torn ACL.
Yeah, that's
serious, grown man's
serious athlete. They lose Keona Davis, transfer to Miami. They lose Elijah Judy to graduation. To put that in perspective, Keona Davis had 32 tackles. He didn't set the world on fire, but that's double what anybody has that's returning. Ben Popple leads that group with 16. So even Judy had 18 tackles. That's more production than any returner. So no, those are my two. I'm starting conversations in up front more and more now after what I've seen the past few years. That's where it starts. I watched the Super Bowl. I look at Seattle's defensive line. I mean, it wrecked the Patriots in a lot of ways.
When your returning edge group right now, only has 6.5 sacks returning.
Concern. That is called a concern. 6.5 total. You talk about it a lot. Matt Rhule talks about it a lot. You need disruption. You got to disrupt the passer. If Matt Rhule lists 3 things that need to happen for Nebraska to be good, or 4 things, he'll say disrupt the passer.
And we saw it. Like the guys weren't getting home. Like in 4-man rush situations,
they weren't getting home.
Where they are the question is, can they be taught better pass rush moves, or are they what they are? Like that's the challenge. Like, can they get them better up front with their hand technique and pass rush moves to be more disruptive?
I don't subscribe to they are what they are. Players evolve, teams evolve. Players can come along. We've seen it. You could name examples in the program. Who was that kid named Martin that played for Bo Martin that they taught to be a pass rusher? Eric Martin. He got 8.5 sacks. They just taught him to be a pass rusher, Sean.
Demorio Williams.
Yeah, now he was a natural pass rusher. Although
he played linebacker.
Yeah, they
moved him up.
That's a good point. So there are things like that. No, they can Petchak can become a force. I mean, you would think.
Rhule made kind of like it felt like a little bit of a backhanded comment to Terry Braden. Like when Petchak made a move and got to the quarterback, he goes, and it was nice to see Cade make a play. I'm paraphrasing how Rhule said it. He goes, and it was nice to see him use a pass rush move.
Oh,
and that kind of felt like a dig.
It does. That does feel like a dig.
Like
that does.
Because you can't.
It's nice to see him use a pass rush move.
Like at this level, you can't win with bull rush.
Not all the time, unless you're Michigan playing Nebraska, then you can win with bull rush.
Yeah, but Nebraska,
right?
I mean, how have we gotten to this point where like Rick Kaczynski could get Jack Gangwish to literally beat the Outland winner, Brendan Sheriff from Iowa? Remember that guy?
Yeah, I do remember.
Like he was the Outland winner, if I'm not mistaken.
And Gangwish
whipped him.
It's called coaching.
Exactly. Like that.
Rick Kaczynski's was a great.
I mean, think about Rick Kaczynski got Jack Gangwish, he worked in a pit. I think he's working in a pit crew for a NASCAR team. He was at one point. And
I don't think so anymore.
He's whipping Brandon Sheriff up front.
Sheriff, that's it. You got it. That's the name.
And he's a walk-on from Battle Creek, if I'm not mistaken.
Around that area. Wood River, maybe. I think it's Wood River.
Yeah, Wood River.
Wood River, yes. Yeah, I got you.
But
that can happen, Sean. That can happen.
That hasn't been happening is the problem. That's the problem we've dealt with, is like those kinds of things hadn't happened.
So they're counting on Winery to take another step. Of course they are. They're paying him a lot of money. They're not paying him a lot of money to get 2.5 sacks. It's not why you pay $1 million.
That should be one game. Like when you play like Bowling Green or North Dakota,
you should get 3.
There should be a game where he has like 2.5 sacks.
Yep.
Not the whole year.
Not the whole year. That's not what you're right.
All right.
But I think that like a guy like Petchak could be a guy that it kind of explodes on the scene, gets 6 or 7 sacks. That's what you're hoping.
All right. Well, we covered a lot of ground there.
Well, it's honest, brother. It's honest.
All right. Well, before we take it to headline 2, we're brought to you by the presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann. Make it your first stop for all things jewelry. The best service, selection, and quality from our patented Heartland diamonds with extra facets so bright that you can see that across the room. To find watches from around the world, award-winning in-house goldsmiths, Sartor Hamann has been voted the best of Nebraska for decades. Don't mess around with the rest. Start and finish with the best. For online orders, put in HuskerOnline for the code for an additional 10% off non-sale items. 121 years old, 4 generations, when only the best will do. Sartor Hamann Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island, worldwide at SartorHamann.com. Thanks again to the presenting sponsor, Sartor Hamann, here of HuskerOnline Headlines. Okay, let's go to headline 2. 5 transfers that will need to make the biggest impact for Nebraska. And Calandria is the natural
one. Numero uno, Anthony Calandria.
He's got to be, and we've talked already about him at length. I don't think we need to go too much deeper into Calandria. But
the only thing I'm going to keep saying is the word excitement. This program needs it. Am I wrong?
They need. I mean, yeah, they need.
Do you sense any apathy?
Yeah, because the way they played on offense this past year, Emmett was big, but they didn't get the ROI on Dylan Rhule that you would have liked if you're just being polite about it. Like when you're paying a quarterback that kind of money, I think you expected more from his arm to win and make big plays in games.
I would say that that's a group discussion, though. I do not. I was reading somebody who said Dylan wasn't an alpha enough as a freshman. I'm like, dude, you want him to take over the team as an 18-year-old? Okay. I don't think we were fair to him. But I agree with you. You didn't get the return on investment from him, but that's a group effort. And it starts with the head coach.
And I mean, if you're looking back at it, when you make an incoming freshman the highest paid guy on your roster,
playing with fire,
you're getting out of whack.
Playing with fire. Like you say, you're paying him more than a university president.
Yeah, and he's got
a lot more.
He's got like a driver and
yeah. But again, that's not just on Dylan.
No, I know.
That's on the operation. Right.
I mean, hindsight's 2020, but in a perfect world, getting McCord here for a year and letting Rhule do what he's going to do now with Dante Moore for a year probably would have been the better way to go back then.
If McCord gets protection,
yeah.
You know, McCord ain't much if he doesn't get protection because he don't move. So I don't know. Maybe I can't argue.
Syracuse had better protection than Nebraska. You think?
Yes. What do you think? That's a stretch. You see 9 sacks by any chance? Did you miss that?
Well,
you
I'm
see
talking
7
about
sacks
the year before that.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know about
freshman
that.
year.
Yeah, I can't argue against a hypothetical.
No, I know.
You have.
But it's just
you have
looking back at it. You know, when you think about it, putting that on a kid is a lot.
Okay, now who's the second most important transfer? I would
Babalade, or would you go D-line? Would you go Stoudemire, Whittington?
It's one of those 3. It's either Babalade or those interior. I would say it's Stoudemire. He's got to be good. He can't not be good. He's got to be good. He's got to be at least good.
Like hold the line, if not make some plays.
Yeah. He was fine at Boston College. He was going to be a regular starter. He got hurt this year.
Whittington is highly regarded as a recruit.
Sean, Whittington he was the most highly rated prep defensive lineman in the state of Pennsylvania. He must be able to play. I mean, he had like 24 TFLs for his high school as a senior. If you're the number 1 rated defensive lineman in Pennsylvania, how good must you be? He must be good. He's only 6 foot 270, but he must be formidable. I mean, I just look at that and go, okay. I mean, think about think about the state of Pennsylvania, what they have up front in high school. I mean, and he was the best one. Yeah, that kind of gets you excited.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not as good of high school football as it once was, but it's still very good high school football in Pennsylvania.
Yes. So those guys, and then wouldn't you say Owen Chambliss?
Oh yeah, Chambliss and McDougal have to be in my top 5.
Then there you go. There you got your 5. You got your 5.
Those are I do Quasi Gilmore. We don't talk about him enough, but
he doesn't have to carry a load though, because you still got Barney and you got Isaiah Hunter.
It's not out of a question to say he could lead them in receiving.
No, it's not out of question.
Like he probably is not like the favorite too, but he could.
I'd say Isaiah Hunter is the favorite too,
or Ja'Cory.
Yeah,
like a lot will depend on how he runs the offense. Like we've seen it with quarterbacks. Like when it was Heinrich Harburg, who did he favor going to? Fedoni.
Yep.
When it was Dylan, he kind of had favorites that he liked to go to.
Yeah, and right now that's probably being established as they throw.
For Dylan, he was pretty good at getting the ball to all those receivers, but he really liked to go to Lindenmeyer.
Yeah.
And then when Dylan got hurt, Lindenmeyer only had like 7 targets over like the final 4 or 5 games.
Yeah. So if we're to hammer down the 5, if we're just going to hammer down the 5, we're saying Calandria 1. We'll say Babalade 2.
Stoudemire, Whittington 3, 4.
Yeah, and then we got to then go Chambliss.
Chambliss 5.
Yeah, over McDougal, the safety. Chambliss is gigantic. I mean, he's got to be good. I mean, he's got to be good against the run. He's got to come in and lead and help the guys understand this 4-2-5. That's part of the reason he's here. So he's got a big job physically and mentally. Chambliss he's got to come ready to roll.
All right. Well, before we take it to headline 3, HuskerOnline headlines brought to you by HelloFresh. And look, it's that time of year. You're trying to eat right, do things right. You don't always have time to go to the store, figure out what you're going to cook, how you're going to cook it. Well, HelloFresh has that all covered for you. And they have over 100 recipes per week. You can pick the style you want. You can get protein-based steak, chicken, spicy, you name it. They even have a lot of GLP-1 friendly options. And, there's a lot of people obviously that are on different GLP-1s and you've got to eat smart and right with those diets. And they've got ones that fit that. So it is great because you can tailor your order for 2 people, 4 people, 6, 8, whatever you need, 2 meals per week, 3, 4, 5. It's easy. And for a lot of people, 2 is probably the right number. You don't have time to probably cook more than twice a week and have that at home. Well, that gets you through. And we've got a great deal with HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM and you're going to get 10 free meals plus a free Zwilling knife that's valued at $144.99 on your 3rd box. Offer while supplies last. For free, the free meals are applied as a discount on your first box. Varies by plan. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/Husker10FM. And you're going to get the 10 free meals and the free Zwilling knife on your 3rd box. Thanks to HelloFresh, longtime sponsor here of the Husker Online channel. All right, let's get into headline 3. Husker basketball hits the road to Iowa on Tuesday after a 19-point win versus Northwestern. And let me throw this out at you, Sipple.
Okay.
A year ago on March 9th, Nebraska played Iowa in Lincoln. Price Sanford was playing for Iowa that day. He scored 16 points in Pinnacle Bank Arena. Well, since that devastating loss to Iowa, which kept the Huskers out of the Big Ten tournament. And when you think about that, I think Nebraska had 7 conference wins last year, and they didn't get in the Big Ten tournament. Like, it was just, the league was different last year.
Now they all get in.
Well, but 7 wins normally would have got you in. It was, the parity was a little bit different last year, but Nebraska is 26-3 since losing to Iowa and Lincoln last year. It's kind of like one of those, like, Sean Eichhorst, we had to evaluate our program where Iowa was at. Well, Nebraska evaluated their program until they lost to Iowa, and they've turned it around.
26-3 is,
that's like Duke good.
Yeah,
like, that's
startling. Almost.
I would love to know in the last 29 games of basketball where that ranks.
It's got to be 1.
Yeah, I mean, because Purdue's lost a couple more. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's got to be.
I mean, Arizona's lost 2 now. I don't think there's a program in the country that with a better winning percentage over the last 29 games than that. So yeah, they've whipped it around. They showed why against Northwestern. In that, you were there. The first 27 minutes weren't great, but then Sam put it pretty well, actually. Sam Hoiberg. They sensed when it was time to put the hammer down, and they did. And what a lineup! Did you notice that the lineup they went with during that, it was like a 27-9 run, was, I got to do this off the top of my head because I don't have Robin's story in front of me. It was Sam, Sanford, Prager,
Jacobson,
Cale Jacobson, and Burke.
Yeah, because
that was the lineup.
It wasn't a very good game at times for
you were there.
Yeah, I mean, for Rink Mass, he
didn't play well.
He struggled a little bit early on in that game, and he hurt his thumb in warmups, evidently.
He did,
and played through that just fine. But it reminded you a lot of, like, in the non-conference when Nebraska played like lower teams, they would get off the slow starts against North Dakota, South Carolina State, Upstate, Winthrop, and then they turned it on and win easily. And this game had that same kind of feel. Where they didn't start fast and they were down, but you knew with how low scoring they kept Northwestern that they were going to pull away. And Martinelli, the defensive job they did on him,
Martinelli 4 for 12,
leading scorer in the Big Ten.
His plus minus was -20. That's horrifying. 4 for 12. He only ended up with 11 points. As usual, I thought Sam was probably the key. Now, you could say that Price Sanford was the key because he had 29. 29. Sam, though, I had to listen to the broadcast because of circumstances, and it really shined through. Sam holds everything together, and then, as you saw at the arena, he's just making a lot of plays in crunch time. He had 4 steals in the game. A few of those steals were as Nebraska was asserting itself.
He's about as popular and well-liked as a male sports athlete on this campus right now.
Oh, he's earned it.
I mean, he's earned it. Yeah,
he's earned it.
I mean, so many young kids see Sam and like, I could, I mean, I'm not saying everyone's going to, but I can be like that.
They're going to really have to train, because what Sam did, I think, is made himself explosive.
Well, he's inspiration. What I'm getting at is like a 6-foot guy.
Yeah.
That played.
That guy. He looks like a lot of guys.
Played at Lincoln Pius.
Yeah.
Was able to like develop himself to get at and you could say the same thing about Cale Jacobson.
100.
Ashland Greenwood guy that developed to get to this level and do what he's doing. And there's no secret. It's hard work.
Well, think about Sam. Think what he did with his body. Like I say, he's explosive now. I mean, he gets to the rim with explosion, but also what else is he? He's really intelligent. He knows what's going on with the other team because he jumps in passing lanes and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, they're like a secondary in football. They just sit back there and pick off passes.
Smart. They're smart. But yeah, they did this. They beat Northwestern by 19, basically with Rink. Well, Rink was 1 for 4 from the field, and Lawrence Jamarcus was 1 for 3. You had basically 2 of your main guys were no-shows. I mean, I shouldn't say that about Rink, or maybe not even Jamarcus. Rink was 1 for 4. Now, he did have 9 rebounds. Lawrence, I'm looking at the stat sheet. Yeah, Lawrence didn't do much at all. He just didn't have one of his better games. But Yeah, 19-point win. Ho hum. I figured it'd go about that way, like that Northwestern might be able to hang around, but I think you probably saw at the arena they just got dog tired.
That's why, like on social media and our message board, you cannot like get trapped into making like emotional tweets or comments about them being down. You can't do it.
No, you
don't
can't
do it.
Yeah, don't get caught. That's good advice.
And the Purdue game is a great example. Like,
yeah, this is awful. They're playing like ass.
Well, and there were
like
people
like
that like left around the under 4. Lots of people left in the Purdue game.
Yeah. So now they turn their attention to a massive game because of what you have said. You're playing for that triple bye basically now. I mean, there's probably 5, would you say 6 teams, 6 teams in contention?
And so Nebraska holds the tiebreaker, which is huge on Michigan State and Wisconsin.
Do they hold on Purdue? No, they don't.
No. And Illinois, I don't know how that works
sorry.
when you split.
I don't either.
But they're 4th right now, but they hold essentially a 2-game lead over the others.
For the triple bye in the Big Ten tournament.
And so they're in good shape.
Yeah, you got to keep winning now.
Some of those other teams are going to lose too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have a 2-game lead over Wisconsin and Michigan State because of the tiebreakers. But yeah, you don't want Iowa to.
Massive game tomorrow at 8 p.m.
The craziest thing, we talk about Price Stanford, the Iowa transfer to Nebraska. He's made 88 3-pointers. He's 1 away from Kerry Cohorn's single season record of 89. To put 88 in perspective, Keisei Tominaga, which a lot would regard as one of the best shooters in program history, only made 71 threes.
Wow.
And Price is at 88.
Wow. That's a wow stat.
And think how many more games are remaining. I mean, Price has like 10, 12 more games to go. He is going to blow the 3-point record out of the water and could probably break it again next year.
And that's a record that Cohorn has had since
the early 2000s.
2002.
Neola Tri-Centers, Kerry Cohorn. One of your buddies.
He is one of my buddies. He's interesting. Kerry Cohorn will tell you this. He can walk into the arena and nobody will recognize him, and nobody. He pays for his tickets. He coaches like you at Kinetic. Nobody's ever said a word to him. Like,
who's he coach for?
His son.
And what team?
I don't know.
He lives in Nebraska or Iowa.
He lives in Iowa, but they come over and play for Kinetic. They play at Kinetic.
They must play tournaments.
They play tournaments.
Yeah.
And he says nobody ever has recognized him. That's the all-time leading 3-point shooter in Nebraska history. Single season. And by the way, his senior year, he made 71 of 77 free throws. That's 92.2%.
I mean, I get that though. Like some of those players, when you saw them come on like a Legends weekend, you barely like Jerron Boone. Like,
right?
I didn't really recognize him.
Did you?
Or I'm trying to think. Vincent Hamilton. I didn't see Mikey Moore. He was there though.
Vincent Hamilton did not show, nor did Mikey Moore.
Okay, I was gonna say I didn't notice those guys.
No, they weren't there. Lou didn't make it. Moore didn't make it. Hamilton didn't make it. So I don't know who all scratched, but those were scratches. Cohorn, another thing about Cohorn, he's your size. He's 6'1". Are you 6'1"?
I'm like 5'11" and a half.
He's 6'1". Yeah, he's 6'1", so he just looks like everybody.
My ego would like to say I'm over 6 foot, but I'm under 6 foot.
So, but anyway, Sanford's going to break that record. Iowa has a player named Sturtz. That's who they're going to lean.
Kind of a throwback, has a flat top haircut.
Is that right? So that game's gigantic. You got to stay up for. Yeah, you'll stay up for it. 8 p.m. tomorrow. Tuesday.
Will you stay up for it?
I'm going to have to. It's a gigantic game. I mean, these games are big for that 2-3 seed type conversation. These are huge games down the stretch for Nebraska.
Yeah, and Kansas has lost some. So like Nebraska's kind of back in the 3 discussion. They've got a long way to get a 2. I think what you're hoping for is a good 3 with Oklahoma City as your option. I think St. Louis is probably off the table because of Illinois and some of the other teams that are more in that region.
So 2 still. What if you win out?
Yeah, that's a big if. I mean, how many teams in the Big Ten are going to win that many in a row down the stretch outside of Michigan and maybe
No, Michigan won't because their schedule's hard. Nebraska's schedule's the most. It's not easy, but it's the most forgiving out of any of those.
Yeah,
teams.
UCLA, USC are going to be really
tough
fight.
games.
They're going to be fighting for seeding and
Those
tournament spots.
Yeah, that West Coast swing is going to be really difficult for Nebraska.
We sound like old coaches here, but then you're back home though. So you play Tuesday, then you're home Saturday, and then you got Maryland on Wednesday night. So You've got two really winnable home games.
Saturday.
Penn State.
So you got Penn State, Maryland
at home. And those are like quad 3 games.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even like big time matchups.
Mm-mm. Nebraska's been very businesslike. In fact, Sam said they really haven't taken time to enjoy this run, this 26-3 run. And Fred was glad to hear that they were like celebrating after Northwestern. He said at Rutgers they won by what, 19? And he goes, everybody's heads down in the locker room. But Fred's like, hey guys, enjoy this.
They realized they had to go back to the Newark airport.
They're private. It's not like when we're traveling.
Like,
good God,
we got to go to the Newark airport.
Yeah, we got to stay at one of those hotels near the Newark airport.
I use the word hotel loosely. A lot more going on there than hotel.
It's like our friend said in Vegas, when you check in, they ask if you have a gun, and if you say no, they say, do you want one?
I don't even want to tell you what I walked into at 4 a.m. I was going down to go to the airport.
No, we're not talking about that on the air.
All right. Before we take it to headline 4, Husker Online headlines brought to you by BRUNT Workwear. And if you're not familiar with BRUNT, they've got a lot of great items on their website. Phenomenal boots. I lived in my BRUNT boots when it was wet and sloppy out for like about 3 straight weeks.
Yeah.
All I wore were BRUNT work boots.
Warm.
Because I just didn't want to destroy my tennis shoes. And they look brand new still. Like,
God, good job.
Not only do these boots like hold up, but they look new. I mean, like,
I love them.
I've had them for a couple years now, and they have all types of styles, sizes, colors, you name it. They've got it at the bruntworkwear.com website. Also lots of clothing apparel, shirts, stocking caps, jackets, hooded sweatshirts, zip up hoodies, you name it. They've got all that kind of gear as well. Get on their website, bruntworkwear.com/Husker. Use the promo code Husker, and we are going to give you $10 off your order at bruntworkwear.com. That's bruntworkwear.com/Husker. Promo code Husker, and you're going to get $10 off that order of BRUNT Workwear. Thanks to BRUNT for sponsoring us here on Husker Online Headlines. Okay, let's go into 4. Nebraska baseball has first 3-0 start since 2005. Husker softball beats another number 1 ranked team in Texas Tech. They already had beaten Texas this year, who's also ranked number 1. By the way, they lost to Tennessee, who's now the new number 1.
Oh God, they've played 3 number 1.
Oh yeah, their 6-4 record is extremely deceiving.
So you want to start with baseball, or
let's go to baseball first, because Will Bolt's team is in the Desert Classic in Arizona, and it's essentially 8 teams playing in 2 spring training ballparks for a multi-team event, and they're 3-0 with a chance to beat Stanford here on Monday to go 4-0, but they have not been 3-0 to start a season since 2005, which feels about right, because generally at opening weekend you're just going to trip up. That's what happens to northern teams, especially when you play southern teams. Well, they kind of scheduled this geniusly. You're playing quality northern teams. Connecticut picked to win the Big East. Northeastern won 49 games. Grand Canyon's been a quality program.
Pretty quality.
It's played in the NCAA tournament. But you're not playing LSU or Texas out of the gate.
Right.
So I like how they scheduled this. And with the way the Big Ten is now, with the better teams added like UCLA, USC, Oregon, Washington, the RPI, the league is better. So you don't have to be maybe as aggressive in the opening weekend as maybe you had been in years past.
Makes sense. And they've taken advantage of it to the tune of 44 hits in 3 games. Nebraska has 44 hits and has only allowed 13. 44 hits, you're hitting like 15 hits. I mean, it's like 15 hits a game almost, Sean. Their offense, I think, will be the strength of this team. I mean, that would suggest that certainly. They've gotten good starting performances, including from a couple guys that are kind of new on the scene. Carson Yasa, is that how you pronounce it? Yasa?
Yeah.
You recognize that name? You recognize his dad played at Nebraska Wesleyan, basketball player, Nate Yasa.
Where's Yasa?
They're from Thornton, Colorado.
Okay.
And that kid, by the way, Carson Yasa, great basketball player. He was a great basketball player in Thornton, state championship team. I don't know if he was recruitable as a basketball player, be 6'7", 215, and throws upper 90s.
6'7".
Don't do that, Carly.
I'm around my third grade daughter way too much.
Oh God. Well, I run into 21-year-olds who do that. But anyway, he was nails. And his start.
How about the freshman Jeter Worthley, opening day catcher as a true freshman from Lincoln East, leadoff batter. I believe he got on base like 5 times in the first game.
Jeter Worthley.
And he was the quarterback of Lincoln East. So he was Malachi Coleman's quarterback for a year when he was at Lincoln East, to kind of put some things into context. He gave up football, though, to concentrate on baseball. But he's a phenomenal athlete, bats leadoff.
As a catcher. Rare. So we're just kind of getting to know names. Those are some names for you. I would watch Jet Buck. I've been told to watch Jet Buck. Who's a
Case Sanderson, obviously,
is
another guy that, is back.
What about one of your favorites, Jace Ziola, who came in against Grand Canyon, threw gas in the 9th inning?
But it was a really good picture to see a true freshman from Omaha, whose brother, by the way, is identical twin. Cade is a wrestler.
Ziola.
He comes in and he's, I don't know what he was clocking, but I know he throws mid-90s.
God dang. So, I mean, like I say, that Carson Yasa's throwing 98. I mean, that's a good sign that Will's got guys like that that are throwing upper 90s.
Well, and Childress is a pitching musician or magician, not musician, magician.
Childress will appreciate you saying he's a musician, though.
But he needs material.
Yeah, he does. Well, everybody does.
He's a musician.
Yeah.
Just pictured Rob Childress playing a guitar right now. I bet he could.
I don't know. He'll appreciate it. Anywho.
Yeah, Cade Sanderson, to get back to my earlier point,
help me.
He's leading them in batting average. He's batting 636. He's 7 for 11 on the year. How you left him out of your...
You can't do that in wiffle ball. I mean, come on.
Joshua Overbeek.
Yeah.
Another Dylan Carey, Jet Buck, Will Jeske. They've got a good group. Max Butenbach got 12 ABs this weekend. He's batting 333. Jeter Wordley, he had a really good game 1, cooled off in game 2, but his on-base percentage in the leadoff spot is 364.
Very exciting that Will was able to get that team out there and open. Now they play Stanford. We're doing this over the noon hour on Monday. They play Stanford today,
Monday afternoon.
Not part of the tournament though. It's like a separate game.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's not. It isn't. They don't. It's not it's not in this tournament. It's separate. But
Stanford was in the tournament.
Yeah, for some reason it's separate.
Oh, it is. I didn't realize
your
that.
Dad will tell you that. Your dad's out. Is your dad going?
He's going. I think he went Friday, and it was Lori, his wife's birthday. And they went to Lady Gaga.
You're kidding me.
On Saturday in Phoenix.
Really?
And now they're going to the game today.
Wow.
He's living his best life out there.
He went to Lady Gaga? Your dad's in his 60s, isn't he? Does he like Lady Gaga?
Well, his wife, I mean, he goes along.
Took one for the team.
I mean, who does? Lady Gaga is really good.
Yeah, you got daughters. You like that kind. I like her. I like Lady
She's
Gaga.
Talented.
Yeah.
Extremely gifted.
Yeah.
Musician, singer,
She's
writer.
a musician like Childress.
Pitching musician Rob Childress.
Childress is probably there too.
All right. Turn the page now.
Yeah.
Husker softball. They too have a big weekend. Rhonda Ravel has scheduled everybody and anybody these first 10 games. They're 6-4. They own wins over number 1 Texas Tech, previously ranked number 1 Texas, top 10 ranked LSU. They own a win over them. They beat Central Florida. They've beaten Washington.
They're the best 6-4 team you can imagine.
Oh, yeah. Their losses are to Texas, Washington,
Tennessee,
Georgia, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Tennessee's now ranked number 1.
Yeah. They've made quite an impression. I mean, they beat are you going to call Najeri Kennedy the best pitcher in America? She's close, right?
Well, she's one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid, female sport NIL athletes.
Right. And she was having a year. Nebraska got 3 runs off of her.
You know where she's from?
Let me think.
Pretty close to here.
Topeka.
Yep. And
did I get that?
yes. Well, don't you remember her brother at Husker football camp, BJ Canada?
Yeah.
And I pointed him out to you.
Yeah. That came from the recesses of my brain that I seldom tap into.
So her brother, your radio colleague, Bill Bush, offered him a scholarship, BJ Canada, but kind of was a quarterback and then almost outgrew being a quarterback. He became like a defensive end. And I think he went to Cal. I'm not sure where he's at now.
As far as his sister goes, she was having a year, and they were 11-1 with, I believe, 7 Rhule games. Nebraska beat the legitimate number 1 team in America. And there's a name we should know on that team, by the way, Nebraska's Alexis Jensen, because she'll take, it looks like she could take some pressure off Jordy Fromm. Alexis Jensen is a freshman pitcher from Gretna, lefty. And I don't know if we're going to see her here, but she pitched really well.
That's her right there, Sip.
Yeah, there you go. Lefty. See, she got that arm thing. Texas, she started against Texas Tech. Jordy finished it. But, man, if they got another one to go with Jordy, hello.
Yeah, that was the problem they ran into, I think, last year is like Jordy could only do so much.
Yeah, you got to watch Alexis Jensen.
On the year, Jordy Fromm, batting .379, 4 home runs, 9 RBIs. He has 39 strikeouts and 33 innings over 8 appearances as a pitcher.
As a pitcher, yeah.
She's coming in for a lot of relief appearances.
Rhonda Revelle. I think about Rhonda because, I mean, I'm older.
She didn't make the Bill Moose book.
No, she's been around since I've been around. And she's obviously, I like seeing someone like that having this kind of success because I'm sure she's had to reinvent herself a few times.
Oh, yeah. I mean, going back to the Bill Moose, I mean, she kind of had quite a battle with Bill Moose.
Almost was, yeah, it was.
And she won.
Yeah, she kind of went through it. And, but look at what she's doing. I mean, Sean, when I talk about her being around, I'm talking about I was covering Rhonda. Now, she might have been an assistant coach in the late 80s, like the late 80s, early 90s. She's been a coach for 30 years.
Well, and the uncertainty with all that stuff she dealt with.
Yeah, you're talking about that low.
It cost her. I mean, Jordy Ball back then, now Jordy Fromm, was committed to Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And when there was that turmoil and uncertainty about the program, that's when she went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So to get her back, I think was huge for Nebraska.
Well, for sure. And I'm just really happy for Rhonda. She's doing a great job. This is going to be, hey, man, Abby Barmore. It's got to be an interesting season, I think. And baseball could be really interesting, too. We need this, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't had like a February combo softball, baseball weekend like this in a long time.
No, it's fun to talk about something a little different. And we got basketball.
And we're like legitimately football is kind of down here right now.
I don't know.
Look, okay, your basketball team.
Here we go.
Is beating like their top,
basketball's
top
number
10.
1. Yeah, basketball.
Your baseball team is knocking on the door of being ranked, and your softball team is beating 2 number 1 ranked teams.
Yeah, that's a good case. That's just spring ball.
Nebraska football hasn't beaten a ranked opponent since 2016.
Ouch. But, that's what you need, that big program rolling, though.
All right. Well, let's get into headline 5, odds and ends. Starting out, Jerome Tang out at Kansas State. And think about when Nebraska, we sat in that house in State College, Pennsylvania, and we watched Nebraska play Kansas State.
What a memory. What a beautiful memory that is. I'm serious.
Our Airbnb or VRBO, whatever you call those things.
Yeah.
And we sat there and we had to order a Roku stick. I had DoorDash deliver us one because their TV didn't work right.
You had DoorDash deliver a Roku stick
for like $10.
You are a modern man, Sean.
And we got games the rest of the weekend that way.
We did. We watched Nebraska eke out a win against Kansas State.
At that time, I think we were all like, Kansas State looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And little did we know that Jerome Tang, who was once an Elite 8 coach at Kansas State, is out. Yeah, Not only out for cause.
Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. Elite 8 was in 2023, and they had a great guard whose name's escaping me. It wasn't Jacob Poland. It wasn't Rolando Blackman. It wasn't Mitch Richmond. I can't get his name. But anyway, that So, but the program spun out. They're 1-11. He had a press conference after a loss to Cincinnati. It was 91-62, or 92-61, one of the two. And he went off. And in fact, two of the things he said was a lot of these players won't be back next year. He said that. Not good. And he said, I don't have any answers. If I'm the AD, I'm like, okay, you're at the podium and you're telling the world, including our fan base, that you don't have any answers.
Well, and it never helps when your entire student section wears bags over their heads.
And he's supportive of it. Now, what they're doing, and so when all this news was breaking, Pete Nagels was writing about it last night of On3, and it was all over the place. They were talking about now they're going to fire him for cause. And I thought, okay, what did he do? He must have done something, right? Like there must be some scandal. You know what they're trying to get him on, right?
That he disparaged the university.
The press conference.
Yeah.
In that press conference that we're just talking about. Sean, I got a question for you. You've been around college athletics. If I'm Jerome Tang and I'm Jerome Tang's attorneys, agent, etc., I'm saying you're not getting a dime for this. You can't get me on this.
I think those kind of antics come back to haunt you.
Antics
in future.
Okay, stay on task here. We're talking about them going after his 18 point.
Right. So as a university, if you try to play those games, it hurts you for the next hires.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Well,
okay, I agree with you on that.
Like I'm sure Trev Alberts did not want to pay Frost that extra money, but he had to. But then they tried to kind of like skirt around it with that tax thing where, remember, now Frost is in tax court because.
Well, what else did they do, Nebraska? They trumped up that NCAA allegation about the special teams analyst overreaching his coaching, taking it on the field.
Which now it's completely legal, by the way.
Yeah, it was all trumped up, right? And they're just probably trying to cut into his buyout.
And they announced it when Frost was walking into those NCAA meetings, like he had to like face a bunch of people.
Yeah, Trev was playing a wicked game, I thought. But now Kansas State, they're going to try to whittle that Kansas State owes him $18.4 million in his buyout. They're just trying to whittle into that. My question to you, Sean, is will they get any of it? Will they get all of it? I don't think they can get that, can they?
No.
You haven't read the contract, so it's a little unfair to ask, but I mean, it's just they're just saying in layman's terms that you embarrass the university publicly.
I think they're probably hoping, hey, we'll give you some, but we're not giving you 18.
Right.
And Tang is going to say, no, I'm going to get my 18.
Right. The question is how much will he get? And if I know this, if that's what they're trying, if I'm Tang and his representation, I'm saying you're not getting a dime. You're getting nothing. That's not what the language of the contract was meant.
Think about on December 28th, though, Kansas State was 9-4.
Mm-hmm. That's back when they had Mitch Richmond and Rolando Blackman and right.
Tinsley.
Beasley. Beasley. Michael Beasley. I think Tinsley played for Iowa State.
Yeah. Sorry. A little rusty on my Kansas State knowledge.
Bob Boozer, remember that name?
Yeah.
From Omaha?
Dana Altman, former Kansas State head coach.
Yeah. Anywho.
All right. Well, other odds and ends. Sacramento State.
Yeah. What the hell?
To the MAC.
What the hell?
So they're going to end up paying like around 25 million bucks. I think it's 23 to join the MAC. Like 18 million goes to the MAC. 5 million goes to the NCAA.
Where do they come up with that money?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the logic is other than they hope that this is their chance then to maybe get to the Mountain West or the Pac-12 down the road. They would prefer to be in those leagues. They're not. It's wild to me, though, that the MAC would take them because of just the extra travel. Because right now, like Brian Munson, our coworker, his son is a coach in the MAC. He works for Eastern Michigan. The MAC right now is a bus league.
Yeah.
Like,
is it bus?
Eastern Michigan can bus to Buffalo, so you don't fly anywhere.
Wow.
It saves you a lot of money, and you can operate your budgets a little bit smarter. Well, you have Sac State in there, so Brian and I were talking about that. This $18 million the MAC is getting, you have to wonder if the league is going to help supplement the travel for those games.
Yeah.
But I think on the positive end for them, that means Sacramento State will have 4 conference home games that could be played later at night. So those Tuesdays and Wednesdays when they're on TV, that's an additional window maybe for ESPN or whoever to get another game on TV, which is money.
Are you playing a doubleheader on some of those nights?
Yeah. I mean, you probably have 3 games going. You might have, 2 channels, then a third game later.
Yeah, that's good exposure.
And so then you get a late night Sac State MAC game. And guess who likes those kind of games? The gamblers. A lot of people. The late night.
Wonderful.
Well, that's what it is. I mean,
I know.
When Hawaii's on TV.
No, I know. You're not wrong. You're right. Interesting.
Like a Sac State game all of a sudden gets a lot more eyeballs.
Playing at Circus Circa that late, right?
You're watching Sacramento State in Vegas.
Some eyeballs at Circus Circa.
I mean, and the other big, I joke, the other big winner of this is Will Compton and guys like that, because everyone's going to really have fun with the Ball State versus Sac State.
Oh, matchup. Good God, Sean.
Use your imagination.
Thanks.
I mean, there's already talks about it being a trophy game.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. That's not going to be allowed. Sean,
I mean,
there's always
Taylor Lewan and Will Compton are going to be at that game every year to hand out the Ball State, Sac State trophy. I won't say what it could be called, but
I don't think you have to. Probably unnecessary.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you have to say that?
I mean, the apparel,
Sean.
the apparel, the MAC should just buy the rights to the T-shirts for that thing.
I suppose.
Our Sac State should.
I did not see this conversation coming.
The Ball State, Sac State.
God damn it. What's wrong with you, Sean?
I'm just telling you what's going on.
What's wrong with you?
All right. And finally,
8th grade Sean Kelly.
Spring practice starts this week on Saturday. Interesting nugget. Nebraska is going to be back in the afternoons for practice. And we don't know if that's just for the spring or could they be shifting back to afternoon practices. They have not done that since Mike Riley during the 2017 season.
Going a long time now.
And, Riley wanted to go morning practices back in 2015. They wouldn't allow him to. They couldn't do it. When Frost got here with Bill Moose, that was one of the negotiation points. I'm taking the job, but morning practices have to happen. So they've been morning now.
10 years.
Going back from 2018 through 2025.
Yeah, okay. Almost 10 years.
Close.
Yeah.
But 3 years of Rhule, 5 years of Frost.
Right. That's notable. We don't know though we don't know why they're doing it, and we don't know that it'll continue. But that is a question for Matt Rhule, and I imagine that'll be Thursday that we talk to him for the first time. And
it'll be over 50 days. Friday was 45 days since the last formal press. Now he's done Sports Nightly, but yeah, it'll be over 50 days since we had last heard from Matt Rhule, kind of in a formal press setting.
Okay, so I think that drought will end on Thursday, is my guess.
Don't jinx it.
I'm sorry if I did. I don't believe in jinxes.
I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, I've had some older, wiser fans think that practicing in the mornings, you don't always get the best out of guys because college kids, no matter what, don't go to bed early. And you're operating on less. And you can say go to bed early, but college kids don't go to bed. I mean, we don't go to bed early.
I do. I'm 58, 59. I do go to bed early. I went to bed at 8:30 last night. You should know this, by the way. I was in bed at 8:30. So if you call me, sometimes I'm not going to be ready to roll. But no, you're right. I don't know. It would be quite a change for the program to do that. Under Rhule. I don't know. And what would be the reason? Just what you're saying would be one reason.
Well, I guess what you're saying during the daytime, it gives the coaches plenty of time to study and watch things during the day. And then I don't know when the evening practice is over, do you eat dinner and watch some film or what's the schedule? Then how late do you keep people around till?
I don't know.
But there were times where, practices would get over well past 6:30 back in the day.
Oh yeah. We'd be over there at 8 o'clock.
Mike Riley would do his Mondays and they would start later, and the Mondays would not get over till after 7.
Yep.
Do you remember when that was when like Bob Diaco would run the sprints with the players, and we'd be in there watching Bob Diaco run wind sprints?
Yeah. After in the dinner time area.
Yeah. No, I remember they would be so late back then that we would eat dinner at home as a family around 6.
Yeah, then you'd have to write stuff up until like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right?
We didn't even have our office back then. So it was like...
You went over to the hotel?
Yeah, we'd go over to the Embassy Suites.
You go to the Embassy Suites and work. Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't really like it because we had deadlines at the Journal-Star, and I'd be like writing a practice notebook on deadline. Like it was weird. Like, simple, we got to have that. It's a freaking notebook. I mean... I'm stressing out on deadline over a notebook.
But now we don't really cover practice as an event anymore.
Not really.
No, it's not staged up that way anymore.
Right. Good point.
Like you used to get them immediately walking off the field with their whistle.
Yeah, and it was like, now that you mention it, was like
an
you
event. Would really cover practice as an event.
Yeah.
And now it's not really like that anymore.
No. Good point. Could be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because it's podium, it's also staged. Where before it was a little bit more informal.
Sean, you can explain that. Here, I'll give you an example. Okay, so now it's more formal. Back then, not only did you kind of cover it as an event, but you would try to kind of uncover some stuff
that happened in that practice.
Yeah, and so you'd be working it pretty hard, and then it was. We don't really do that anymore. And people are going to say, well, why not? Well, because everything's a group now. You used to be able to break off on your own, and if you had something that nobody knew about, you could
ask about it.
Yeah, you could pull somebody aside and ask about it. There's a lot of that going on, by the way. There's a lot of pulling people aside. Rhule does not want you pulling aside the coordinator after every practice. He doesn't want that, and that's what you do. That's what I would do. You'd pull aside Rob Orich and try to get some details that nobody else had, right? You would pull over the offensive coordinator or whoever, Dana, and try to get some nuggets that nobody else has. The Rhule doesn't want that happening.
I mean,
Nor would I, by the way.
We used to be able to go over on Tuesdays every week in the season. And like every Tuesday, you'd get to go over there for 20, 30 minutes and take photos and watch a couple things. That's been long gone for years.
Yeah, it's changed. It's very formalized now.
More like probably the NFL.
I don't know what the NFL's like. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with you. I've talked to Parker. They get a locker room time. It can be pretty informal. Like he's told me stories about just shooting a breeze when Randy Gregory's with the Broncos.
Or you can just go up to lockers and grab guys.
Yeah, and just talk freely without them being in front of a microphone.
Well, there's like sometimes where you would like just to interview a guy for like 2 questions.
Right. Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be this big production where they're on the big stage being streamed on YouTube and stuff. Like that's the one part that's changed about this job, that when you try to talk to like the younger people coming up, it's different.
I don't want to come off as complaining because we get a lot of access.
No, yeah. And I knew you were going to say it, but it's different. Like you have to go about doing your job different.
But we do have access. I'd say good access comparatively to most places.
And I would label it more as formal access.
Yeah. But it's access.
And, like it used to be like you could get everything done in 20, 25 minutes and they would just put everybody in one room and you just walked around and got what you needed and it was over. Now it's a little bit different how it's set up. And we don't know what the spring's going to be like as far as the access goes.
Yeah. I just want access.
You want access.
I just don't want them to listen to us and say, okay, well, you guys don't like it. We'll just cut it off.
Oh, no.
We need access. It's not we need access. We've had this conversation. The fans need it, and we supply the fans.
I just think it would be better if it wasn't all on the stage sometimes. I think some of the players would be more comfortable not having to be on a podium.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like being at the White House.
All right. Well, on that note, spring ball returns Saturday. We got a busy week. Husker basketball is Tuesday at Iowa. Baseball, softball, big weeks ahead. But the big thing with spring practice begins on Saturday as the Huskers will go 3 straight weeks here before spring break. For Steve Sipple, I'm Sean Callahan signing off here for Husker Online Headlines.